You're watching the Battered Fans Network.
The Herons are champs. Yeah. Roll south to Freedom Park, rocking pink and black. Official tissue in the 305, bounty full of grapes. The Battered Fan with Chris and Dan dropping hot takes. Messi and the Herons start the season with a star on the crest, so 29 fan bases can cry, cause we the best. Sign homegrowns like Noah, Frey and Ruiz, replacing goats with greats. Yeah, Miles got the cheese and he called it. Freedom to dream was the backbone. From Lockhart to Miami, it feels good to be at home. Multiple times a week on YouTube and audio. Take the time to subscribe, like and share the show. So check and chat, grab your MLS cup and coming. No question about it, I'm ready to get a star again.
No question about it, I am ready to get hurt again.
Danny, you're not there and the Herons are back and we're sad as fuck. Welcome to another episode of the Battered Herons podcast. I'm your host, Chris Duran, and alongside me, I have a gray brick wall, but soon that will be filled. In the meantime, in between time, I guess I could read your chats. Thank you guys so much for showing up for this Inter Miami versus NYCFC preview for a game that really doesn't matter. But we're going to preview it anyway. And for those of you that are still mad, because Mem is in the chat saying nobody cares about NYC, I'm still mad and sad. Soccer Daddy is saying we don't need preview, we're done. Gina is saying we're still doing this, there's no point, man. Yes, Gus, everybody left. We're completely battered. Yes, Francisco. And yes, they say Danny is still in mourning. Ashton, it's completely over. Guys, you're preaching to the choir here. It is over. In its finest meaning, it is completely over. The season is over. What we wanted to play for is completely over. But we're going to leave the complaining for later. I don't know if you guys saw, but we have 2 episodes on this channel that are going up today. We have this one, which is a preview. We're going to have Manny on, everybody's favorite villain, a.k.a. Danny's cousin. He's going to be coming on to preview a little bit of NYCFC matchup. How weird. We play NYCFC this Sunday at 1 o'clock, like a true baseball game in a true baseball stadium, in a baseball field. And yeah, good job, Mike. Smash that like button, guys. Smash it. And Soccer's just saying no more. Soccer Daddy's just saying no more football. But again, we're going to be doing this again. We're just going to be complaining more. We have some more thoughts about the recent debacle that was the CCC game against Nashville. And shout out to Daniel Young with a super slam. Daniel Young with a $4.99 super slam saying NYCFC will want revenge, but Miami are undeniable champions. I get what you're doing, Daniel, and it's nice, and I thank you, and we have a star above the crest, but we don't feel like champions right now. We lost against Nashville, and Nashville is just sulking in the glory right now. Soccer Daddy's saying, Manny, you suck. And Miami sucks as well. And you know what? Gina's saying, can we play the Miami U15s against NYCFC? I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, I mean, I guess we could talk about that when Manny gets in. Or I'll talk about it now before he gets in. I think that they're going to play everybody this game. Because after this, there's, what, a 1-2 week break? And then at that point, essentially, you have no excuse, right? I mean, the next game is going to be at home after NYCFC. I see Manny in the backstage. I'll let you get settled in. Just let me know whenever you're ready. And, I mean, this is a friendly. It seems like it's a friendly. Because AJ is asking, who's still depressed as F? We're all depressed. Again, this is the Battered Network. We're going to stay Battered fans. and this is a disaster. But we still have a game to preview. Okay, guys, and this is what's going to happen. Manny's going to get on here, and he's going to just showboat because NYCFC is one of the two undefeated teams. And you know what? Let me just bring him on here. So shout out to Manny.
Yo, what's up? What's up?
What up? Thank you for jumping on.
Oh, thank you for having me, man.
Now we just get to hear you come on and literally show off that you're one of two undefeated teams.
Not only undefeated, but we're also first in the East. We're talking supporter shield, apparently. That's what the NYCFC void is. That's all I've been hearing all week is supporter shield. So exciting times to be a NYCFC fan. But continue, Chris, because I know last night was a rough one, I believe, down here in Miami.
Yeah, it was a disaster. It's nothing like what you guys are going through right now. And you're looking at the standings. It's a beautiful thing for you. I mean, we're in third, so we're not that far off.
Not at all. Not at all.
But today we feel like big time losers. And I know that we were talking a little bit on the chat, I guess, before we get into the game this Sunday. What did you think about the game yesterday?
Well, for starters, Nashville, they seem to be a pretty potent opponent. Like this is them every season. I feel like when they're good, they give every single team a headache. In terms of last night, I'm not sure what exactly happened to Inter Miami. I'm not sure what happened to Inter Miami. I was kind of watching in and out of the game, if I'm going to be honest with you. Yeah. But what struck me was the second half. I'm not sure who got injured. I don't know his name, but when he went down, I just felt like the team died. The energy was not there at all.
Oh yeah,
yeah, exactly. It kind of felt like Swiss cheese during like the Messi 1.0 era. I don't know if you guys remember that squad, but like, you know, Messi came, the offense was awesome, but it also felt like if like one turnover or like a team that had speed, like they had one direction going forward, it just felt like there was so much holes in the Miami's defense. That's what it kind of felt like that second half. And then when Nashville tied it, I mean, Miami still looked pretty good. It's just the offense wasn't there. I don't know what's going on with the offense. I really don't know. I haven't really been keeping up with the games. I'm going to be honest with you. I think what really hurts about last night for Miami is, from what I understand, you guys spent a lot of money on a striker that he's not at the level at all. Yeah. I have some thoughts on that guy, but I think what really sucks is that I can't remember the last MLS champion that got eliminated in 2 games in the CCC. You might have to fact check me on this, but it's been a while. And if there's a team that was recent, I think the Galaxy might be a recent one. The thing is with the Galaxy or any team in MLS history, they didn't have Messi. So when you have someone like Messi and you don't even make it out of the first round, again, credit to Nashville. They're not a bad opponent. They're very organized. They're a very strong defensive team. But when you have someone like Messi, you're thinking big picture. You're thinking a championship or bust. First round exit it's embarrassing. No matter how way you look at it, it doesn't matter. It is embarrassing. It is rough. And again, Mas gave the impression. I wasn't watching the offseason Miami, but I did remember the headline saying Jorge Mas is going all in for Champions League. I thought that was amazing because whether I hate them or not, I root for any MLS team for Champions League because it is a big deal for us. It's how this league improves moving forward. So for a team like Inter Miami that has Messi and has all these big names just leaving the first round, it is embarrassing. It's not a good look. It's just a bad night to be a Heron. That's for sure. A battered, name of the show. So
absolutely. And now, I mean, before we get, I mean, we're going to get to that tonight and we're going to complain a lot more. Let's go over what's been going on with NYCFC.
Right.
You guys at this very moment have 3 wins, 1 draw, 0 losses. And you guys are sitting atop the Eastern Conference. Now, I've looked at the recent games, and here's the thing, right? You guys have had 4 games where the first 2 were away games, and you played the Galaxy and Philadelphia Union, which they both got red cards those games.
Correct.
And you only tied with LA Galaxy, and then you beat a Philadelphia Union that's sitting in a dumpster fire somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other 2 wins were at home, where you guys won handedly against Orlando City, which also was looked at as a garbage team, and Colorado. So are you guys pretenders or not? Because that's the way it looks on schedule.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's been the biggest. That's why I love the media, because New York City is always a club that we're always like kind of like the middle of the media, like for every episode when you're covering MLS, like people don't take us serious until they get taken serious. But no, I mean, these are, right questions. Like, are they legitimate or not? So the first game, it was funny because Galaxy scored within like 2 minutes. Like, I remember sitting there and I was excited, and then like 90 seconds in, it was just stadium erupted. I was just like, oh no, it's over. And again, we didn't make any signings. We didn't really do much. We just brought the same group in. So I'm thinking, okay, well, that was a slap to the face. But New York City pulled through. There was a red card there, and then Philadelphia, there was another red card. I will give New York City credit for Philadelphia. People probably don't know this, but I've always mentioned, especially for people that gamble, New York City never played that well in Philadelphia. I will always say that we don't perform well. Recently we have, but I especially when it's a regular season game, I don't really see us winning in Philadelphia for some reason. But they took that game at the very end. They scored last second. What you could say about those 2 performances is that we were technically not supposed to get any results out of that. I mean, we weren't playing the greatest, but they were able to stay in the game. They were able to make the right plays. They were able to absorb a lot of pressure from what Philadelphia and the Galaxy were, giving New York City. So in terms of those 2 games compared to the last 2 games at home, New York City is a different animal when they're at home. They actually tend to win like at least 80% of the games. You're going to have results. They don't lose. I know it's a regular, I'm not a regular, but it's a small baseball field. I get the diamond. I get all that stuff, but I mean, like, what do you want to do? Like, they have to play there. They have to adjust their stuff. When they go away and they play, regular soccer fields, they have to adjust to that, and they play just well. So, I don't know what you want to do. They're getting a stadium next year. Like, I find out, a bunch of crap, if I'm going to be honest.
Which, by the way, I mean, the stadium is looking really nice.
It looks like it's going to be ready next week. I feel like New York City just play there next week. I saw a recent update. Someone's flying over LaGuardia, and it was just a full shot. I'll be honest with you, Chris. I saw City Field, and for a second, I thought that was the New York NYCFC stadium, and I got shocked. I'm like, that seems huge. And then I realized under it was actually the stadium. I couldn't tell the difference. So okay, man, kudos to the work unit over there in New York City, man. Shout out to them. You give them a project and a deadline, and they're gonna have that shit. Like, half of the deadline will be complete already.
Well, it's funny because I made a joke online that the NYCFC stadium looks more ready than the Miami Stadium, which is supposed to open in 2.5 weeks. And we're talking about, I mean, just for people, I guess, that don't really look into this stuff, but like in the Northeast, they got unions. And they're moving faster than the guys down here in South Florida. Like there's Teamsters up there, guys. I mean, there's Teamsters here too, but like they're up there first. So that's just been a surprise to me. Mm-hmm. I've noticed that you guys have come out like in a pretty simple, like a 4-3-3. But the one thing that you guys got going for you is that you have goals coming from different players that are making an impact. Like, what's been sort of the standard formation, and who's sort of made an impact?
Dude, I'm gonna be honest with you. I feel like we're the last game or the last 2 games at home, I believe we were playing like a 3. It kind of feels like a 3-2, 3-1. If I'm gonna be honest with you, or no, it feels more like I don't know. If I'm going to be honest with you, I really don't know, because the thing with New York City FC is we have a formation. That's why I don't pay attention to the formations, because Nico he plays a 9, but he's a false 9. But then he's a center mid, or not back line, but mid back, and then he's a winger.
Good floating player. Yes.
Floating player, exactly. That's why Nico is. I'm going to get to him in a second, but that's why traditionally, I think like a 3 or 4 in the back. It depends who we're playing. If I'm going to be honest with you, if we want to press, we're going to go 3. And then if we're going to play like more possession, more chill, try to bring the game to us first before we give it to the opponent with our possession. I would say we play a 4 back, but we have a bunch of floating players, man. It's surreal what Jensen has. I talked about like last episode, like, I was praising Jensen for how the team was, how they were playing, how they were floating around. Yeah. It kind of resembles, and it's bleeding into this year. I feel like this group of guys, it's the same team, from to be honest with you, minus Hack. The difference is these players bought in, and they're playing with more fire. We added Magno. I think Magno he might be a difference maker this year for this team, because last time we had him, people won't remember this, or if they do, that's great. That's MLS core. But there was a moment in the game where Magno was sticking his middle finger at Chanot mid-game. They gave him the birdie, and that's it. He was kicked off the team after that. I never seen that guy again. He's back. He's talking in English, which shocks me. He wanted to do an interview. He told them no, he wants to speak English. And he's been talking about how much he wants to help the team instead of trying to find goals and trying to help the team with his scoring and his play. He's more focused on the right plays. That, to me, that interview, that post-game interview, told me that he's bought into this team. So whatever Jensen's doing in that locker room, whatever he's telling the guys, they have the right amount of guys with the right chemistry, that if you have someone as egotistical as Magno was, and trust me, his ego was ridiculously high.
It was.
Now we're talking about the team. That tells me that the locker room is an all-time high. They're bought in. And I want to believe this hot start is because of what's coming this Sunday, if I'm going to be honest with you. I think the schedule, when it got released, they saw Inter Miami. The last 2 games have not been pretty from New York. And they talked about a lot last season when they got eliminated, that both games against Miami, they don't know. They were not New York City brand. And so they definitely circled, I don't know how many circles around Miami they did on their schedule when it got released, but I think that was like the priority season was, we want to go into that game. I don't know if they're talking, we're going to be undefeated going to face Miami. No, I think they were just focused on Miami, that they happen to be in great form to prepare for Miami. That's how it feels like to me watching this team. We'll see what happens on Sunday, but that's what it feels like. Like, they're prepared.
Well, speaking of form, like Morales has been in form, and then you have Nico Fernandez, who's been super impactful. You just mentioned Thales. You just mentioned Thales Magno, and listen, that was a player that I was watching a couple years ago when I started watching the league. And you're right, he was a very cocky and very sort of, I don't want to say disrespectful, very outspoken player. And the fact that it seems like and the fact that he's willing to take sort of like a backseat role, but know that his impact still can be able to make a big difference on the pitch. I guess, give me a guy that you think that we should watch out for that isn't, a Morales or a Magno, that we can look out for in the game this coming Sunday.
So our best players, basically Maxi, Nico, or Magno. No, I think a player that is dangerous. I had talked about. Remember, I told you the X Factor last matchup was Gray. How he's ascending. He's still ascending, by the way. He's a stud in my eyes. He's playing his way out of New York City, if I'm going to be honest with you. The same with Freeze, because World Cup is coming. Jamaica qualifies for the World Cup. Gray is going to be on that starting team. He is going to be in the field playing, representing Jamaica. Same with Freeze. These guys are playing themselves to be out of New York City at the end of summer. I hope not, but these are realistic things that happen, unfortunately, in the summer. A lot of players leave. But the player I would say to look out for is Ojeda. He is definitely another player that is ascending. The thing with Nico that it's so great is that he does so much that he plays based off what the team needs. So we don't have a striker. Apparently he decided to become our number 9. And he's not a natural number 9, but he's playing like a number 9. He's putting goals left, right, anywhere pretty much. He's giving defenses a nightmare. Because of his speed, he puts a lot of pressure on the defense, which again, it gives Maxi space. It gives Ojeda space. Maxi seems to I don't know how old that guy. He looks like he's past 40. He's
He's
38,
class.
but he's still balling. Like, I don't understand. It's an awkward conversation to have with Maxi Morales, because he is someone that you want a younger player to be your number 10, because Maxi to me is so important to the team, but he's also a liability because of his age. I feel like he can't keep this up. But every time I put doubt into him, he proves me wrong every single season. Like, guys, I guys want you to understand something.
Yes,
I was at New York City for the first game of Maxi Morales, and I saw his first goal with the club. This was years ago. Like, I think it was 2017. And here we are almost 10 years later. He's still on the team, and he's still playing. Like, I remember the first day that I saw him. It's ridiculous what he's doing. But Ojeda's the person I would say watch out for. He is on the rise. He is the third. We have a little Argentinian clique of ourselves: Ojeda, Maxi, and Nico Fernandez. Nico and Maxi are, I'm pretty sure, Miami game planning. Those are the two guys that are gonna, you need to watch out for. I say watch out for Ojeda. That kid's balling. He does the little things that you don't realize. He does the dirty work. He's another Nico. If the team needs to play defense, Nico, honestly, I didn't know this, but Nico apparently used to play fullback. He was a defender, so he could defend. That's why when he pressures teams, he knows how to defend well. He knows how to close the gaps well. That's why he forces a lot of turnovers, not commits. He forces a lot of turnovers, which, again, Ojeda, same thing. The kid's a dog. He runs back on defense, and then he pushes the ball in transition. He always finds Maxi first. If not, he's starting to now gain more confidence. He's actually attacking defenders one-on-one, and his passes into the box has been outstanding. Nico's great, Maxi's great, but Ojeda is also a compliment to that. I would watch out for Ojeda.
So let's say you make a bet on Inter Miami to win the game.
Yeah.
And you don't feel comfortable because they shot the bet against Nashville. And you have supreme access. You sneak into Yankee Stadium. You walk up from the bullpen, and you get the chance to be able to come up to Mascherano. What are you going to whisper in his ear to make sure that Inter Miami gets the win on the Sunday?
That's a really good question. I think Mascherano, first of all, Mascherano's not even at the game. He has a red card.
That's right. Or you pull up to Javi Morales.
To be interim.
You can pull up to Mascherano up in the stands.
I was gonna tell you. I mean, I could make a phone call, because apparently it's legal if you have a record. You can make a phone call and talk to the damn assistant coach on the damn bench. Apparently, that's ridiculous. Honestly, the keys to beat New York City, it's a tricky one. Again, it's not cockiness or anything. I'm not trying to be arrogant here saying that New York City is the shit, even though it feels like it, because it's hard to find. For me, it's hard to find flaws in this team, because every time I tell myself, okay, yeah, now I see the weakness, I see that. No, they within 5-10 minutes, it's like before I even see it, like Jensen sees it before me. So once I see it and I complain, it's already fixed. It's hard to beat a coach that's on the fly, and to me he's not a person's coach. He's more of like, what do I need to do to win? And I don't give up, I don't care about your feelings. I want to win. What do I got to do to win? You suck, you're out, dude. Go do whatever. Leave. You put someone else in there. So it's hard to match someone like that. Clearly, Inter Miami missing Busquets and Alba hurts. Yes. But I would say the key to beat New York City, if we're gonna be honest with you, not in Yankee Stadium. It's true. It's true. They're tough at Yankee Stadium. I would say you gotta put pressure on Maxi when he has the ball, and you gotta find Nico on the field. He's playing at a level right now where he feels untouchable. He's definitely a early candidate for MVP. Not saying he's going to win MVP, but he's definitely he's rightfully so deserving of a conversation in the MVP candidate for now. You need to circle him. You need to find him on the field. You can't give him space. Don't give him confidence. And if they're going to pressure, you're going to need number 9. You need Bertie to step up, man. He needs to step up. He needs to find the spaces. He needs to be aggressive. He needs to find a rhythm with Messi, because the only way to beat New York City is attacking them on counters. if I'm going to be honest with you, it depends on what I need to see what New York City is going to come out of formation. If they're playing a back three, then you got to look for a counter. That's where your number 9 is going to have to step up, because Messi will find them. And, you know, he's going to find the cracks no matter what defense you play, it doesn't matter. Messi's going to find it. It's up to the strikers. I would say Luis Suarez, he might have to start. I think Suarez and Berté playing together is going to create some chances that is going to make New York City uncomfortable. Once you do that, then it's going to be a very interesting game. Because I'm not chalking it up as a win for New York City by any case. It feels like they're going to win because this is like the statement game. But the same argument can be made for Inter Miami, because this is, you know, as of now, this is the best team, but it's more than that, because these are two teams that we might see like a rivalry out of. Like, these teams really don't like each other now. They really don't. New York City, for the most part, has had easy wins against Miami since they've started. And in the last couple games, Miami has flipped the switch on New York City and has got very chippy last game. And I feel like there's still some bad blood there, if I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like there's some tension there. You start Suarez, then you're really going to start, you know, what's the word I'm looking for?
Creating magic or something like
the pot, or you know, stir the pot or whatever.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that, because I do think that starting Suarez is critical, especially in a game where, I mean, for better or for worse, the pitch is smaller. You're not like, for example, I think the best advice I'd give Javier Mascherano is don't start Allende, because there's no field to stretch. So I think keeping people like Segovia and like Luis Suarez that can play in compact spaces, I think that's going to be critical in the game this coming weekend. Now, before getting to predictions, I do want to let everybody know, guys, for those of you that watch what people call like Estebandito, and shout out to Estebandito, we saw you in the show yesterday. For those of you that call football, American football, egg ball, okay, Manny is going to be starting up the Battered Dolphins Fans podcast with Danny next week. So make sure that if you guys are looking out for any sort of Dolphins content, make sure to stay tuned. And next week, we're going to be premiering for the season the Battered Dolphins podcast. So please make sure. Oh, that's right. Battered Fins fan.
Battered Fins fan. Yeah, we're starting up next Thursday. We have a lot to dissect. And it's appropriate because we just basically became the ultimate premier tanking team. And Battered is like not even like Battered is just it's like putting lipstick on it. Like, you know, we're just like that's like the nicest way to say it, because I feel other emotions about the Dolphins right now, but it's perfect. And we have the other Manny that's going to be on it as well. We have a lot to discuss. A lot of stuff happened, and looking forward to it. I encourage everyone to watch it. It's
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be a blast. You guys are all going to have a blast. You guys are all Dolphins fans. It's going to be fun times.
Great.
Now, getting to predictions, because we already got a couple people that put up predictions. For those of you in the chat, let us know what you think your prediction is going to be. Suresh is here saying Miami loses 3-1. Gina is saying Danny beat us 10-0. We couldn't care less. Our season is over.
Jeez.
Like, this is a bad place to be in right now, man.
It's rough. It looks rough.
Yes, Isaiah is saying I predict 1-1 if we play B team. We lose if A team plays.
Wow, that is brutal. Listen, I'm telling you right now, that's not possible. If you're gonna bring the B team over there to play this A team NYCFC, I'm telling you, New York City they're gonna take this game. To me, it feels like this is like their game 7, because they need to prove it to themselves. They need to beat this Inter Miami team. And it's vice versa. I'm going to be honest with you. It's vice versa. This is also a very scary game for New York City, because we have all this momentum. You lose to Inter Miami again. Not even getting our asses kicked. If we just lose, it feels like all that work
might be a damper.
Like we can't get over the Messi. We can't get over that guy. And that's going to be detrimental to this squad. Like, that's why I feel like the squad came back. They bought in because they want to beat this team. Like, this to them, this team's in the way. And they need to prove a point. So I feel like Inter Miami, I think Messi's going to play. I think Inter Miami, they understand the severity of this game, because Champions League was bad enough. You don't want to come out and get smacked by New York City or even lose. You don't want that. It's a sour taste in the mouth. And I know it's before international break. That's the only worrisome thing about Miami. I don't know the state of the players, but I would imagine in a perfect world, they're gonna play, and I think they're gonna play their best game against New York City because again, this game matters. Miami, this is a statement game for Miami too. Like, you want to go back to back. This is the team you're probably going to see in the down the road in the playoffs. Probably, this is probably a preview of the conference finals again, because like this team is going nowhere. And Alonso Martinez is going to come back eventually. We're going to have our striker, and the way Nico's playing, the way Mexi has been playing, the way this team is organized, they're going to be a pain in the ass. And Miami needs to prove a point that they're still the dogs of the top dog of the East.
So I'm going to go with a 2-2 prediction. What do you think, Jenny?
I've been back and forth today. I want to believe New York City is going to win. I really don't know what to expect from Miami. It's hard to tell, but I will say this: if Miami comes out to play, I do see. I'm gonna say I could see a 2-2, but I could see this being like 2-1 or 2-0, like New York City. It looks nasty, and in the second half, Miami ties it late, or second half they reverse it. They just kick. Something happens in the locker room, the second half, and they just kick New York City's ass, and it becomes a draw. I think everything shows. By the way, horrible time, 1 p.m. in a baseball stadium. I feel like MLS fucked that one up.
Yes.
I know language, but like I only give it to one F-bomb, per episode. But they completely dropped the ball on that one. Like 1 p.m. that's pathetic on a Sunday. That's so bad. But
and it just, I was talking to Danny about it. It reminds me a lot of like old school baseball games, just starting at 1 p.m., third of a triple header against this same team, finishing the series. I mean, I think it's going to be 2-2 just because NYCFC has been scoring boatloads of goals at home. And I feel like we're going to have goals to score. So it's going to be, I think it's going to be a very fun game.
It's very good. And it's to me, it's a rivalry game. I'm going to be honest with you. I think I have this theory real quick. I'm going to try to run it through. New York City FC was the first club that had the fans. They created a tifo, and they put "Don't be plastic, don't be an Inter Miami fan."
Yes.
I cracked up at that, and I call some of my friends plastic too. Like, I'm like, you weren't there when Miami started. You only care when Messi came.
Yeah.
And Beckham was at that game, and that was also the game where the team bus was going under a tunnel, and the fans were throwing shit at the bus and screaming at Messi's bodyguard had an aneurysm looking at all the threats that are on the street. Regardless, Beckham was at that game. I feel like that bothered him because I think it was Minnesota that followed with the pink phony club. And Beckham called him out right away, and he said, like, where's the class? Like, Minnesota's. And I'm just thinking, like, dude, like, no one throws shit at Minnesota fans. Like, that was so, like, out of the blue. I think that plastic that New York City did that day, it rattled him, or it did something to him, where when Minnesota did it, he just snapped on Minnesota. So I'm pretty sure this Sunday he sees New York. I know that felt sweeter for him. Again, it's my theory. I think if Miami plans to take a break, I think Beckham will probably go into like that team and remind them how much like we hate this club, F them basically. And if that's the case, that's why I'm saying I would expect this club to play. And plus, like, they know who the opponent is. They need to prove a point. They lost to Nashville. They're second on the table. This is the first. You want to show out and you want to beat these clubs to remind them that, like, you're not better than us. So I would expect a good game on Sunday. I think it'll be fun.
Well, and I mean, I know we're down in the dumps, but guys, we do have a game to play on Sunday, so I think it's going to be positive.
Show out, man. Support.
Yeah.
Give up.
And Manny, I can't appreciate. I can't appreciate you more than enough. Thank you for coming on to preview the game.
Thank you for having me. Always, man. I'm here.
And let everybody know where they can find your stuff. And listen, guys, again, I'm going to mention this, and I'm pretty sure Manny's going to mention it again. If you guys want to follow Dolphins podcast, go ahead and follow the Batter Fins podcast. The Batter Fins fans, you can be able to catch them. They're going to be starting next week. Let everybody know where they can find you, Manny.
Yeah, if you go on YouTube, search up Battered Fins Fan, you're gonna find our channel right there. It's basically the Dolphins logo, and it says Battered Fins Fan. It's amazing. You can't miss it. It's gonna be great. I don't think for the most part, I've been pretty chill here. Even when New York City got their asses handed in the playoffs, I jumped on this channel and I looked pretty I mean, I was drunk. I'm gonna be honest with you, and trust me, you don't know how I feel inside. I was devastated, and I want to go on a rant about it. But I mean, I was just all for good fun. But like, come jump on and just see me. Just watch me talk about Miami Dolphins. You guys are gonna have a kick out of it. Like, I'm not saying it's gonna go viral. I hope it goes viral, but I think there's a lot of things you guys haven't seen the real emotions of me behind this team, and you're gonna see. I think the only person that's seen me in my darkest moments watching football is probably my girlfriend, because she's here on Sundays, and she just sees a different side of me where she's like, okay, yeah, like I'm not even gonna. Let me just let him, do his thing. And when he's ready, I step out the office, then I'm a different person.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna let all of that stuff go out on it's gonna be fun. I would say just join on. It's a full rebuild. It's gonna be a fascinating couple of years. I can tell you right now, we're not gonna make the playoffs for the next like 3 years. So it's a lot of content to be made there, man.
Oh, absolutely. Those are some of that is going to be made for good content, guys. Again, don't forget to check out Battered Fins Fans podcast. Check it out on YouTube. And for those of you that are in the chat, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Much appreciated. Like and subscribe if you haven't done so. For those of you listening on audio, thank you guys so much. Leave 5 estrellas. And stick around, guys. We're going to be doing the Spanish show now with Solana and Xavier. And then after that, again, Danny and I are going to come back on, and we're going to talk a little bit about the game against Nashville. So until the next one, have a good one.
Take care, guys. Thank you, Chris. Take care.